What's going on, guys?
Welcome back to another night of
Give
Island
me the
Boy
champs,
Football Talk.
baby. Number one
Again,
seed, baby.
There we got you.
KG, keep quiet. Welcome back to another
Go
night
hit,
of
baby.
Island Boys Football Talk. As you can see, there's a lot of excitement in the for the show tonight. Um, we got Jizzle in the building representing the Philadelphia Eagles. Simon in the building representing the San Francisco 49ers, and Street in the building representing the Carolina Panthers. Uh, it's week 18, final regular season game of the 2022-2023 NFL season. We got a lot to talk about in terms of not much the game today, but what it leads to next week and into the off season for the Panthers. So a number of topics today that we'll just will discuss. He has a boy next week. Shane has either the Seahawks or Packers, and the Panthers. We head into the off season, but we got quite a bit of talk to. But how you guys feeling right now?
I good. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm happy. Number two seed. Um, walking to the playoffs. 10 straight wins. That's the most we've had since 1997. The team looking strong going into the playoffs. No injuries to date, and we got back Debo and Elijah Mitchell today. Kinlaw is back. Armstead is back. The defense is almost intact without Mosley. But I'm ready. I'm ready for next week. No matter who it is, Lions or Packers, I'm ready. I am ready.
All right, this is how you feeling.
Before we get going, you know what I got to do.
Ah, boy.
You know what I got to do, baby. What a wow, baby. What a wow, baby. On the road to victory. Score a touchdown, 1-2. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. On the road to victory. Eagles. And that's how we're going to start the show. Just like that. Gotta feel excited about this team. Coming into this season, there was a lot of unexpectancy that we didn't think that was going to happen with this team. I mean, we didn't think Jalen Hurts would have been this good. Didn't think Jalen Hurts would be playing at an MVP level. We didn't know if Nick Sirianni and Shade Steichen could put together a good offensive game plan throughout the season to put this team to a 14-3 record, division leading, NFC leading, number one seed leading. That wasn't expected. I think that we expected them to win the division, but we didn't expect them to be the best team in the NFC, having that number one seed. That wasn't expected. Got to give credit to Jalen Hurts to what he's done in the off season in progressing and becoming the MVP type player that he is. Got to give credit to Nick Sirianni and Shane Steichen. Also, Jonathan Gannon too. Yes, even though I've been cussing him earlier, um, he's also a part of the coaching staff. Got to give those guys credit for keeping a team together, come up with the right game plan, and winning games and making the playoffs, winning the division and get the number one seed. Got to give a lot of credit to Hobby Roseman. I know I've bashed him in the past many times for batching draft picks, drafting Jalen Rager, drafting J. Jasiga Whiteside, um, missing out on DK Metcalf, missing out on Justin Jefferson, missing out on the what his name is, the Johnson fella from Pittsburgh, missing out on Terry McLaurin, missing out on a whole bunch of players that you could have easily got, missing out on Jeremy Chin, missed out on impact players. But he was able to rewrite the ship, rewrite the story, change the page, change the picture. He was able to draft a Devontae Smith. He was an impactful player this year, averaging over 1,000 yards this year. first time we had receivers to average 1,000 yards. AJ Brown had 1,000 yards. Devontae Smith had 1,000 yards. You got to give Harry Roseman credit because he brought in AJ Brown. He brought in Devontae Smith. I also got to give him credit for drafting Jalen Hurts. A lot of us look at it and we think that Jalen Hurts should have been that pick in the second round because he wasn't a second round talent. We all knew that. A lot of the scouts thought that he was a fourth round talent. The Eagles are different. I thought it was a bad draft pick because I thought you should have drafted at the time. You won a division with Carson Wentz. You didn't have any receivers at all, and your best receivers was 2 tight ends. Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert. Looking ahead, it was a great decision. It was a good draft pick. Because look at Jalen Hurts has you right now. A stronghold of the conference, home field advantage, 2 games away from making the Super Bowl. You couldn't ask for more.
So
Gotta give those guys credit. Gotta give Harry Roseman, Shane Steichen, Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, of course, because a lot of us didn't see Jalen Hurts being this type of talent. I didn't see him being an MVP level. I didn't see him being an MVP level type of quarterback.
So
I said that.
Seeing that you got the number 1 pick,
Number 1 seed.
you confident with whoever you play after that?
Huh?
Seeing as though you got a number 1 seed,
Seed?
you're the number 1 seed, you got a boy. You can get the lowest seed possible.
Right.
You're 100% confident that you take down them?
I confident, yes.
No. Okay, that's you.
I'm confident.
I ain't confident no more.
I'm confident.
Who would be the lowest seed next?
The lowest seed can either be if you guys lose to whoever, either the Seahawks, I think then they automatically gonna play the Eagles. If not, if you win,
then he got to pay either the Cowboys or the Giants, right?
it depends. If the Giants beat the Vikings, then KG got to play the Giants.
Right.
If the Minnesota win, then he played the winner of Tampa Bay and Dallas.
Right.
Oh.
So it depends. He just get the lowest seed possible. But judging from a lot of diehard Eagles people that got podcasts and everything too, a lot of tweets ain't being that positive as a late. And it's not only
overreact.
But it's not only on Jalen Hurts. So they ain't blaming Jalen Hurts. They calling out a lot of other things on that team, which is they're not too fond of the defense. The defense, they ain't been playing good the past couple of weeks. One of those guys on Twitter that has a podcast as well that follow the Eagles pretty close, they say this is the wrong time for the Eagles to be slouching on defense. So he was not too far. It's not to say Jalen Hurts and think Jalen Hurts gonna come back, yeah. But it's more to the game than just Jalen Hurts.
We all know the fact that it's not an offense. We all know the offense gonna do their thing. We all know once Jalen Hurts is back, the offense is gonna do their thing. That's not gonna change. We all know, and like I've said before, from the beginning of the season, and I'm gonna say it at the end of the season, the issue is the defensive coordinator and how he calls his defense and how he puts his players in position with this quarters coverage. That's just the issue. If he does what he usually if he comes out and does what he does in the second half, which is playing more man coverage and allowing your defensive line to do what they got to do, because your defensive line will create pressure. They will. They have what, 67 sacks all season? A league record? Could have had 72.
So
it's on Gannon, and I can't really say if Gannon gonna change. But if we lose, if we happen to lose in the playoffs, it wouldn't be because of the offense. It would be because of the defense. The game against the Saints, you won't see that again. You won't see Nick Sirianni and Shane Steichen come up with a game plan like that. If that's the case, you gotta get
the game against Washington that you guys lost.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it on?
It was on the team. Turnovers. You can't win that game
No,
if
I
you.
was waiting to hear you say that on the
It's on the
defense,
team.
and
You can't.
it wasn't on the defense.
No, but you can't win a game if you're losing turnover battle. You will never win in the NFL if you're losing turnover battle.
But even this game against the Giants,
But this game wasn't a. They wasn't gonna play hard for this game. You can see, they play for this game. You can see they were giving up easy plays. The thing is that you wasn't trying to get injured. That's the thing. You wasn't trying to get injured, so the team wasn't gonna play hard.
yeah, but the first quarter at the end of the day, you still playing for something.
They play for something, but you know the Giants playing the backups, so you're gonna play hard. You know you're gonna still win. There wasn't much effort plays in this game. You could see from the start to finish. Wasn't a lot of effort plays. You're not trying to force effort so that your team could have an injury. You have Chauncey Gardner coming back. That's a big deal. He ain't gonna play hard. He was
Well,
out.
yeah.
He was out for a few weeks.
Let me ask you this question: the last three teams, so say from 4 to 7, which is 4 is Tampa,
Right.
5 is Dallas, 6 is Giants, 7 is Seahawks / Green Bay. Which one of them 4 that you'd be most worried about? If
The
you
only
had to
thing
pick?
I worry about is the 49ers.
Oh, so you ain't worried about none of them.
I worry about the rest of them. The only thing I worry about is the 49ers.
You got any input, Jane?
I don't know. I'll have to see how you play out, right? Because when you're looking at the teams at the lowest, I don't think Green Bay is one dimensional. Detroit is Detroit. You know how I feel about Detroit.
No, Detroit Oak.
Okay, yeah, Detroit no. So Green Bay is one dimensional.
Seattle.
Seattle limping along. I don't think they can beat anybody who they have to face. Who else we say? Minnesota,
No, not Minnesota.
Dallas,
Green Bay, Seattle, Dallas,
or
New
Tampa, New York. I think they should trample over New York, and then Dallas might give them a run for their money. But I can't agree with them. I wouldn't say fair any of them.
See, I've seen. I mean, I've
not
seen
fair, but
I've seen-
concerning.
I mean, of course, you can always say I'd rather play this person and that person.
Right.
If I was KJ, I wouldn't want to play my divisional, somebody in my division, which would be the Cowboys. That's the only thing I would say. I would say I wouldn't want to play Dallas. That's it. It ain't because I'm worried. It's just I don't play them twice already.
You know your point.
Yeah,
you
I
know
play them twice already. I would rather play somebody who has never seen me before. You know what I'm saying? Like you go back last year. Remember when we had to play the Rams 3 times leading up to the end of the Rams season?
Right.
That was tough. You know what I'm saying? They know us, we know them. That'll make a tough game. But you come out and play somebody that haven't seen you before,
Right.
you should just overwhelm them. Because they're gonna try to guess it at that point.
That's a good point too. That's a good point.
So I wouldn't want to play Dallas. If I was you, I would say I wouldn't want to play Dallas. I play anybody else but somebody in my division.
Right. And that's true too.
See, this guy tweeted, Slay's second half performance is a bit concerning.
But second half, the game over. You know what I'm saying? You can't look at
it. No, not second half of the game, you know.
Second half of the season.
Second half of the season. Okay,
so the issue is, see, and a lot of the analysts who've been talking about the Eagles, the Seth Joiners, the Jason Avants, the what you call it, the Baldies and stuff like that, said that you should put Slay where he's more effective, which is press man. He's not effective in the zone where he can actually read and react. And like I said before, it's Alan Gannon. Put him in position where he's more effective, which is man coverage, press man. When you playing 10 yards off, it's easy for a quarterback and a receiver to play pitch and catch. When you're playing quarters coverage, it's easy for a quarterback and the receiver to play pitch and catch. And that's the issue. That's the issue. If you're playing 10, 15 yards off, Hussein can't easily want to come back road, boom, and the ball is there. If you're playing zone coverage in the quarters coverage in the middle of the field, your linebackers looking at the quarterback. They're not seeing anything in the back. Anything in the back that's easy to think. Pitch and catch. No, the good thing is you got Chauncey Gardner back, who can actually read and react. Because Reed Blankenship can't read and react. Marcus Epps can't read and react. So now you have a safety who could actually see what's in front of him, who could actually read and react. So you won't get a lot of balls being beaten over the top. That third and 30 that you had against Dallas, that ain't happening with Chauncey Gardner Johnson back there. Cause he has the experience. He actually knows and understands the defense. Understand down and distance and stuff like that. Understanding leverage. That's all it is. But like I said before, it's all on Gannon. It's all on Gannon. I don't expect Nick Sirianni and Shane Steichen to come in there and have a game plan like they had against the Saints. If you do that, you will lose and you're probably going to lose your job. Honestly.
All right.
But the issue is that defensive coordinator. That's the issue.
Sheen, you got any overall comments on Philly?
Nothing more than I mean, I totally agree with KG, right? Like, I think the defense, and I agree with that person who make that thing, but I ain't gonna say it's just slay. With the defense on the whole, I think at the second half of the season start to slack off a little bit.
Right.
And not in a complete capacity because, I mean, Jesus Christ, he had 67 sacks. That defensive line was still producing damn near
doing their thing. Is
4 sacks a game at
right.
least, you know what I'm saying? So you can't completely say the defense was atrocious in the second half because the defensive line was averaging a lot of sacks a game. I wish I would get them kind of sacks a game in the second half. But they weren't looking as dominant as they were in the beginning of the season, right? And leave themselves open to get caught if the offense didn't produce. And we saw that, right? I mean, you picked up what you finished the season as 14-3.
Yeah.
Them last 3 games that you lost, you kind of see that the defense was left out there exposed, you could say, because the offense really wasn't clicking. And that was the thing. And I always tell you, if you go back to our show throughout the season, I was telling KG I want to get where he's at because his team is clicking all 3 phases: offense, defense, special teams. When my team finally got there after we got our ass whooped by Kansas City, and we realized, look, what's going on? Our team clicked and we start dominating in all phases with Jimmy as the helm. Prody come in and we still dominate. Even when the defense slacked up and get hitting them up with the Raiders, our offense was able to keep pace with the Raiders and allow us to still get the win. Years ago, we couldn't do that because we were a one-dimensional team. We also a top defense team. Offense was always behind. Our offense now is so powerful now that we could run when our defense have this, and our offense could power us into a winning situation. So it looks like the Eagles' defense fell off in the second half, and I don't think you haven't been back to that form yet. And maybe it's because of when Gardner went down. Maybe
that could be it too.
That could be it. I mean, sometimes you lose a key person and it just crushes the whole chemistry of the defense. And I think that's when you start to see that chemistry start to fall apart. If we could go back and look at those weeks and see that when Gardner went down, that was probably the issue. Now, if you get back Gardner now, or when you get back Gardner, because y'all gonna get back Gardner.
If you get Gardner's back.
Right, he's back.
If you get back Maddox now, the defense will be that top defense again.
So if you get back Gardner, when you get back Gardner now after this week, that second week of the playoffs, Gardner's back. Right. And that defense started to step up again. And Philly go back to that farm where it was 11-0.
Right.
Or whatever it was before they lost that first game. Then they can put the team back, they can put the NFL back on notice.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it could be that one key piece, you know what I'm saying? So I do agree with him. You know, the defense is slacking off, but I don't feel like it's in totality that is the defense because you get goddamn, you put in a 4-6, 6-6 again. That constant pressure can always build up your
Defensive
secondary.
and
That
defensive
always
players
build
are
up your
fresh.
secondary. You know
And
what
the
I'm
good
saying?
thing is,
That's how we live. I mean, the
right,
finals live by that. You put pressure on the quarterback, our defense could be the suckiest, or our secondary could be the suckiest. But if
right.
that quarterback don't have time to pass that ball, it don't matter who you got back there, really and truly, as long as they could cover in cover long enough to let the defense get sacked. So
Right.
I agree.
So yeah.
All right, so we know for a fact that the Eagles got the number 1 seed. Got a boy and just gotta wait and see who they gonna play. They just gotta make sure everything is back. I saw something that Sirianni said that Hortz was sore during the game, so they weren't gonna force him to do too
Yeah,
much.
Right,
that's
exactly.
expected. That's
Right.
expected.
So
Everything is expected.
they just gotta make sure everyone is good. Find out who you're playing and get ready for in 2 weeks to play that game. All right, we switch it over to San Fran. They got the win today. They're officially the number 2 seed. They're still waiting on their opponent. It's either gonna be Green Bay if Green Bay wins tonight, or Seattle if Green Bay loses tonight. Shane, what's your take on the overall season?
Overall season, I think I ain't gonna say it was a great season because of how we started off. I ain't gonna say not how we started off, and then plus the injury to Lance, then the injury to Garoppolo, then the injury to Mosley. You know, that's our MO in the last couple of years: injury, injury, injury. And we started off 1-3. You know what I'm saying? For a team that we know is built for a championship run, Super Bowl bound under Kyle Shanahan, to start off 1-3 was kind of depressing. And then the switch clicked. You know what I'm saying? The light bulb went off. We got our ass kicked by Kansas City. Wake the shit up. And then we've won 10 straight games after that. You know what I'm saying? The number 1 defense in the league. The number 1 team allowing the least rushing yards in the league. The least total, not the least total yards in the league. I think Philly got that. And overall, a good season. NFC West Division champions again. 1,000-yard receiver with Brandon Ayuk. Christian McCaffrey, great addition. Ever since he came on, all we do is win. And all he do is put up total yardage. Offensive line. Let me talk about my offensive line now. That I was completely worried about in the offseason and week 1 because we didn't know who the hell was playing center. Jake Brendel, whoever the hell that is, still. But he put a name on himself. Spencer Burford, Aaron Banks. Those guys, my interior line actually worked and probably ain't give up. They probably give up most of the least amount of sacks in the league for the whole season. Impressive performance by the offensive line. Last night, kids, we watched the game. We say, with the win that the Jaguars do, they could basically crown WP Coach of the Year. But I can go on a whim and say Shanahan just win 10 games straight.
Right.
With backup quarterbacks. I don't know how that gonna phase in the run-ins, but he gotta get something. If he ain't coach of the year, he gotta get a goddamn great job award or something. You know what I'm saying?
If it ain't Dable, it's gonna be Shanahan.
I ain't giving no damn Dougie P no coach of the year.
He getting coach of the year.
I mean, he do what he do. What he do is good.
Right.
But that whole division's been a suck job, just like the two South, the AFC South and the NFC South being 2 suck jobs for the year. I ain't getting nobody nothing of them 2 things. Plus, if Tannehill was still playing, the Tennessee would have won the division.
I don't know.
Tennessee would have won it because the last games there that they wouldn't have lost if Tannehill was
I
there.
think if Tannehill were playing in that game last night, Tennessee would have won that game.
But not even that. Remember, Tannehill missed like 4 games, and some of them games there, if Tannehill were there, it was easy victories. They had Malik Willis in, ready to play. Now he's still a year or 2 away. Then they're putting Joshua Dobbs, who they just pick up out of practice squad. Guaranteed Tannehill were there, they'll win 2 of them 4 games, and Jacksonville would have still been too far out to get the division. So it all break down when Tannehill went downhill. That That ain't Jacksonville fault. Now they get to host a playoff game, so they ain't really care. But
Again, in that kind of like go towards my point again with Shanahan, right? Tannehill goes down, everything went downhill. You know what I'm saying? Your main quarterback go down, everything goes downhill. Let's not count.
But you see,
Let's
but you
not count
see,
this.
you see the thing with that is you gotta have people that similar in fashion to cater to your system.
But
Malik
that's
Willis is
that's a coaching part.
yeah, Malik Willis is the backup. Is he like Tannehill? No,
No,
completely
it's the
different than
opposite. Yeah,
Tannehill.
complete opposite of Tannehill.
We know what they want to do, man.
So,
They look at Malik Willis as the future to take over, but Malik Willis need about 3 years to develop. There's no way I would have had Malik Willis as a number 2 quarterback. He would have been a number 3 quarterback for the whole season. I would have had a viable backup in case Tannehill get injured. The problem is Tannehill got injured. You had to go throw Malik Willis in there and expect him to win your games when the season comes. But we knew from the draft that Malik Willis has a high ceiling, but he need about 3 years sitting down and just get the game together. So how in the world you think that you're gonna win with? You think that what gonna happen when Tannehill go out? Everybody gonna cram the box and force Malik Willis to throw the ball. Malik Willis come out of Liberty. I don't know why offense Malik Willis run in Liberty, but he nowhere compared to an NFL offense. So how you expect him to come in and dominate in his rookie year? It don't work like that. So I blame Vrabel and those guys. Yeah, they had a lot more injuries than a lot of people too. But at the quarterback position, you better get that started properly that you got a viable backup. Because you had a chance to get viable backups. You let it slide. You put yourself in that situation. I know about Vrabel. Vrabel ain't gonna admit it, but they're gonna say, "Oh, we had a lot of injuries." But a lot of teams had a lot of injuries too.
Yep.
Problem is, you just didn't plan properly for what would happen in case of the injuries.
You didn't have a viable backup.
Right.
You can't. Malik Willis should have been QB3 for the entire season, not QB2. Just the fact that you had to bring in Joshua Dobbs to play for a division clinching thing, what do you think they're gonna do to Malik Willis' psyche? They're gonna mess with his psyche because you're playing him all the time, and then you bench him.
True.
You understand what I mean? You bench him. So what gonna happen? He was playing. I watched his stats. He had 55 yards in one game. He's the first quarterback in 3 games that he started and threw out over 100 yards. None of the 3 games he threw over 100 yards. That's the first thing they say outside of Nathan Peterman or something like that. And then you bench him the last 2 games. They bench him the game before, and then they bench him this one. So what do you think that happened to Malik Willis' psyche there?
Then you lose confidence.
You messing with a man. Exactly. Is Vrabel on one more year with Tannehill? I do believe if Tannehill and them don't do it next year, Tannehill and Vrabel gone. Because I don't think Vrabel is a great quarterback to groom Malik Willis. But who knows? But that's for another day. But they put themselves in that situation. So yeah, go ahead, see about the finance.
So now we in the we finished the season on a high note. We put up 38 points. I mean, against the Cardinals, whoever they had a quarterback, blah 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 blah. But the defense played like it should. The offense played like it should. We still rolling on a high. That's 10 games in a row, and we're going on a high into the playoffs. We don't have a bye week, so we're gonna live off that high and go straight into the next game. I think that momentum gonna fuel us, and we're going in healthy. Just got like Debo. He won limited reps today. He touched the ball at least 5 times today. Ken Law was in there today. Elijah Mitchell was in there today. He had 2 touchdowns today. And I kind of see how Shanahan gonna use McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell. He had 2 back sets running, which I love to see a 2 back set. 2 back set, 1 tight end, 2 wide receivers out there. We out there killing with that. And the whole team is clicking. So we're probably the hottest team in the NFL right now going into the playoffs. With teams that don't look too strong who we have to face: the Seahawks or the Packers. The Packers been fighting for the line. They fight every game to get them, and I think they're gonna be in a dog fight here tonight too against Detroit.
I think they won the last like 4 games or 5 games.
It's been dog fights. They've been dog fighting. It's been dog fights. You know what I'm saying? Like they're commanding big leads. They just don't have a complete team. And I think if the key is he shut on one side of Aaron Rodgers, just like how even before, all you had to do was if you stop Devontae Adams, you killed Rodgers, right? When he had Devontae Adams. I think in this one, if you shut down what he named, you kill him as well.
Oh,
What's the wide receiver name? They got the young cut, the young
Watson.
Guy? Watson.
You don't even have to shut. You don't even have to shut he down.
Just take true. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like just make him try to go somewhere else because he really don't have. Aaron's got a problem. When he don't have confidence in somebody, he ain't looking your way.
So let me ask you this. No, we know the Seahawks playing either the Green Bay or Seattle. Which one you prefer to play?
Out of the two,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna go against what I just preached to Casey. But because the Seahawks are struggling so bad, I would rather play the Seahawks than play Aaron Rodgers. Just because it's Aaron Rodgers, I would rather go and play a Geno Smith in the playoffs than play Aaron Rodgers. And I mean, we've done that, been there twice now in a row. The last 2 damn postseasons, we had to play the damn Packers. You know what I'm saying? We've beaten them, but I'd rather play a Geno than an Aaron Rodgers. And I think anybody would take that coin flip any day of the week.
What do you think,
I think you'd rather take Aaron Rodgers and the
offense?
And that they have over there than having to deal with a Metcalf and a Lockett maybe. Because the issue is like you said before with us in Dallas. They're your division rival. They know who you are. They know your tendencies. They know your haps, your mishaps, and stuff like that. So like we said before, I think you'd rather play Green Bay because like we said before, Green Bay has a Christian Watson, the Alan Lazards, the Randall Cobbs. They are wall beaters. Right now, Christian Watson, he's a first round pick, but he's not a wall beater.
He was first. You are second.
You were second. Who was the first round pick?
They ain't never draft no first round receiver.
First round receiver. That's why he always cussing.
Yeah, they never draft a first round receiver. No, Jordan Love is a first round quarterback, but not somebody that can help.
I thought Watson was a first round pick.
No, he come in the second round.
No, this year. I said who's their first round pick?
Their first round pick. I think it was linebacker. No. I don't. They never pick a wide receiver in.
I sure the fella for not. What's it was for North Dakota?
Quay Walker. No. Yeah.
Yeah, Quay Walker.
Quay Walker, Jizzle.
Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt. They had 2.
Wow.
A linebacker and a defensive tackle.
Wow. You would think you should have drafted a first round pick.
It was number 2.
Jesus
but this is why Aaron Rodgers get pissed off.
So Quay Walker was number 22. 28 was Devontae Wyatt, and then Christian Walker was wrong 2 to the pick to the 4.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But like I said before, I mean those receivers aren't all beaters. I think the only effective players they have there is Aaron Rodgers and the 2 running backs, AJ Dillon and what his name is Aaron Jones.
I mean,
I think you rather play the Packers because if you have to face a Kenneth Walker, a DK Metcalf, a Taylor Lockett, and they're rolling on cylinders just for that one game. They're rolling on cylinders. And somehow Pete Carroll comes up with a game plan to fluster Purdy a little bit. Then you know what I mean. Then you might.
If you come here and tell me that Christian Walker burned the 49ers, I would hold my head and say, "But something was wrong with the 49ers." If you tell me Metcalf and Lockett burned them, then I would say, "Why?" But that
they're proven
because they could do it.
Right.
So I would take my chance and this ain't Aaron Rodgers but I would take my chances against. We know I would press the box and and force Aaron Rodgers to beat me with a Lazard and them. Whereas sometimes all you need to do is chunk the ball up to Metcalf. He get going, then he hard to stop. So take your chances with Green Bay, but we'll see because they still got to win. If Green Bay loses, it's Seattle's turn against San Fran, so we still anything. But they'll wait. But that first round match is in Santa Clara,
Oh
and
yeah.
we don't know the day yet, but we'll find out by our next show on Tuesday. Which days are playing? But Jizzle, you got anything on the 49ers?
Um, like we said before, the Kyle Shanahan had done a great job with keep the team together because, like you said before, finishing 1-3, you thought the team was down and out. I mean, start 1-3, I should say. You thought the team was down and out, and losing a Trey Lance. Then after Jimmy comes in, Jimmy steps in and takes over and has the team running on all cylinders. Then he goes down. Then Purdy steps in and has the team running on all cylinders again. It's hard to do that. You don't really find much coaches doing that. I think only the best coaches do that, which is the Andy Reid's and the what you call it, and the Bill Belichick's usually do that. You don't really see another coach doing that. So you also gotta give Kyle Shanahan the credit for doing that, for having three quarterbacks ready to actually play and be effective in the game.
And not only be effective, perform the way how they did.
Right.
You don't see that in the league.
They have talent on defense. They have great talent on defense with Bosa, Armstead, Kingla, of course, the Pro Bowl linebacker in what his name is Fred Warner. You got you got a good corner in Chile as well. You don't have really a good you lost what his name is Mosley to injury on the other side and Verrett. So you really kind of slim right there for now, and that probably gonna be the issue. If I was a team, I'd attacking a second corner. You got Hufanga, who's stepped up a little bit. You wasn't expecting that. You got Jimmy Ward as well. But like I said before, if I'm a coach, I ain't attacking Jimmy Ward. I ain't really going after Fred Warner much. And you also got Greenlaw too as well. I'm attacking Hufanga, who kind of cheats sometimes at the same time because he gives a lot of the big plays are when he cheats. As you can see, a lot of the big touchdowns with the Devontae Adams touchdown, and other plays and stuff, other stuff and foot. But I would be attacking Hufanga and I would be attacking that second think about touching corner, right? Lemon Ways.
Yeah, I'm not a corner, yes.
Right, exactly. That's who I would be attacking. Walk off a few play actions. Of course, their run defense is tight. Of course, that front seven is tight. I would be attacking that that back end. And we also know how good of a job that D'Amico Reyes is doing on defense too as well. So I mean, but the team has veteran coaches who's been here before. So it ain't like we don't expect the 49ers to be good. We expect the 49ers to be a top team in the NFC West from start to finish. Question is, will they be able to get over the hump? Because
can we finish?
Right, that's the question right now. Is Kyle Shanahan the Kyle Shanahan who we've known so far? I mean, is it the Kyle Shanahan who wasn't able to close the deal against the Patriots? Yes, I mean the Falcons defense wasn't good, but the offense started in that Super Bowl.
Style.
Right. Again, against the
Chiefs.
The Chiefs. The defense didn't hold up, but the offense started a little bit too again. You know what I mean? In the playoffs against the Rams, the offense started a little bit again. So we all know he's a great play caller, a great schemer. Can he scheme for a full 4 quarters, like in an NFC Championship game when the team is somewhat struggling and there's pressure? Can he scheme up something for Purdy when the team is struggling and there's pressure?
So since the acquisition of McCaffrey, we've averaged 30-something points a game.
Right.
If we carry that into the playoffs, I think that answers your question.
Right. But also, can Debo stay healthy?
I think we've proven that we could do it without Debo as well.
Can Debo, because I think that game against
Rams.
the Rams. I think
Yeah.
he was kind of you can see he was kind of gimpy a little bit. He
Yeah.
wasn't effective as he wasn't effective like he was in the first half, like
Correct.
then in the second half. So
But
can he be effective for full 4 quarters?
watch how we use him now, though, right? It's a
Right,
different it's a different team with
right,
the
exactly.
acquisition of McCaffrey.
Right,
We're using Debo so much as a wing back. Now you have McCaffrey. Now you have Elijah Mitchell. You have two back set where Debo now can catch the ball open space and then do his thing. He don't have to
right,
come out of the backfield running or got him injured like last time and stuff. You got backs who could do that now. Them bodies that built for it. I mean, he built for it, but he's a wide receiver. He ain't accustomed to
right.
getting hit like that. Them running backs are accustomed to getting hit like that every game. Wide
Exactly.
receivers ain't accustomed to getting hit like that every game. You know what I'm saying? And again, now that you have a team, now that you have to face teams that have to account for a McCaffrey in the backfield, a triple threat like McCaffrey, instead of
Right.
account for a Kittle, a Debo, a Ayuk, and then Paulie could still run, but he don't run, but he could run.
Right. But I
I
also
think I think Shanahan is I think he finally, and I've heard a lot of analysts say he finally reached his killer instinct. And that's all I want. When you have a team that have Allen weapons, you need to go there and just destroy a team, especially the playoffs. You need to go there and just take the confidence out of a team, rip the heart out,
right.
put up
But I,
40 points on them quick.
right. But I also think that the pressure's on him as well, because
yeah.
now you have
Super Bowl team.
I mean a Super Bowl team actually, you can say, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You have, yes, you don't have the quarterback. If you had a quarterback, it would have been a cherry on top.
right.
If you had a quarterback, it would have been a cherry on top. If the quarterback was playing, I mean, Potty's playing great, but we can't really say Potty's playing at elite level as yet. We haven't seen Potty for a full 16 games.
Right.
But the pressure is on Shanahan because you have a Pro Bowling in Kittle, one of the best headed in the league right now. You have one of the best running backs in the league in Christian McCaffrey. You have one of the best receivers in Debo. You have a good number 2 in Ayuk. You have a good defense. You have a decent offensive line. So now, I think it's on Shanahan. The pressure on Shanahan now, because I think if he loses now, the questions will step in.
Oh, yeah.
Is he another Philadelphia Eagles Andy Reid who could just get you to the NFC Championship game and that's it? Is he just another Philadelphia and Eagles Andy Reid who could just take you to the playoffs, be good in the regular season, but can be dominant in the playoffs? So I think that's gonna set in if he doesn't perform this year.
I agree. And I think the only thing I would say if Paulie have that one game that everybody waiting on. I think if Paulie have that one game that everybody waiting on,
Right.
it happen in the playoffs, that it'll ease some of that pressure off of it.
It'll
But if we
ease
were going into the playoffs with Garoppolo or the way Garoppolo was playing, and we still lose,
Right.
I think then we can answer that. We can hit it on what you just saying just now.
Right.
Because even though everybody know what Garoppolo is, but the way how Garoppolo was playing and how Kai was scheming up them plays for Garoppolo had us rolling. I mean, we win 10 straight games in a row. And we ain't play no scrub teams like that. All them 10 games was in scrub teams. We play some real contenders.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, the pressure. I think the pressure is on him. I think so.
Like who?
Shanahan.
What do you mean like who?
Who these contenders was?
Oh, what an ass.
The Raiders, no contender. Cardinals, no contender. Seahawks, no contender.
Damn, what 2 games?
That's 3. Who else? Colin.
No, I got back my schedule. You think I gotta keep track?
The Cardinals twice. They ain't no contender. The Seahawks, no contender. Raiders, no contender. Panthers, definitely no contender. Falcons, no contender.
We lose
I
against
call them over here. Tampa Bay, no contender. Oh, how much?
Maybe Tom Brady no contender in them in the damn playoffs, really? That's Tom Brady.
You see the division?
It don't matter what the division is.
And what our record is?
That our
Them
fault.
out
We
the
had this
door the
conversation-
first round. You talk about contender. Tampa Bay is not a contender.
We had these conversations before.
So can you in the playoffs? You a contender?
What do you mean? You had to get there.
Oh, so you needed just 8 wins to get in. You're a contender?
8 game win. New Jersey win the Super Bowl at 8 wins.
Not in this league.
It's not in this league.
Tampa Bay is not a contender. You ain't call a contending team yet.
All right, since we lose to the Chiefs, right? We play the Rams,
Not a contender.
play the Chargers.
Not a contender.
Oh,
They're too inconsistent.
I know
We
what you-
talk about the Chargers. We cuss the Chargers numerous times here. But we didn't cost the Chargers, we cost Brandon Staley.
Right.
And we said they would never win with Brandon Staley, so I don't consider them a
But
contender.
you can't blame team for the coaching stupid decisions in the last minute of the game.
They had a very bad last year against a team here that we cost up them and say them can't do nothing. So, okay, I'll give them a question mark contender. Keep going.
Right. We play the Cardinals again.
Not a contender.
Then we play the Saints.
Not a contender.
We destroy the Dolphins with a healthy
Not
tour.
a contender.
With a healthy tour. Before we play them
That team is not a contender.
They beat the Bills. They beat the Patriots. Then we'll lead the division.
The Patriots is not a contender.
Oh my God! I know again.
Go ahead, keep going.
Watch out the Bucks.
That's not a contender.
You say they're not a contender. The Seahawks week 15.
That's not a contender.
The Commanders.
Not a contender.
Then the Raiders and then the Cardinals again.
Exactly. You want to come tell me the Dolphins?
Before the hater was talking, I count 3 teams.
Ain't nothing about hater.
The Dolphins, the Bucks, and the Chargers who we beat.
The Bucks, you really gonna go there. So okay, so your pick, I guess your pick with the Bucks in Cowboys is the Bucks then.
I think what's really going is beating teams that are
true contenders.
That are above 500. Not sitting at 500.
So Shane, you think the Bucks gonna beat the Cowboys?
I never say that, but them is contenders. Tom Brady make that team a contender.
Tom Brady this year, Tom Brady,
he winning.
8 wins. He damn lucky that CJ Henderson and Keith Taylor he know how to cover a streak road. I really would not be talking about them.
That's
not a contender. That team is not a contender. That team will be one and done. One and done. That team is not a contender. That team is dead this year. That's not.
I agree. The Bucks will be one and done.
Yeah, that's not the same team.
I am going in and say I can't blame nobody for scheduling.
Okay, so let me. Okay, I know. I agree. I ain't trying to say that. No, you ain't wrong for saying what you say because you don't create the schedule. But they were 8 and 9. You trying to tell me so? Are the Packers a contender?
Nah.
But they got the same record as the Buccaneers.
But the Packers look horrible now.
Oh, my bad. Forget the Buccaneers look good. I don't know where you're getting at with that because the Buccaneers don't look no better than the thing. And then you tell me with Tom Brady they're a contender. But like you say with Aaron Rodgers they're a contender too.
No, not with Aaron Rodgers. We already know what Aaron Rodgers' weakness is.
We know what Brady's weakness is too. He ain't got it this year.
After he divorced, he catch himself.
No. What you talking about? Catch yourself. 8 and 9. They had to play the Panthers last week to win the division. And if the Panthers had 2 competent cornerbacks, we would be here talking about the Panthers versus Cowboys. That is not what you call a contender.
So you said they were a pretender.
They are the biggest frauds in the NFL in that playoffs. And remember, I ain't only saying just them. I said it already. Even if the Panthers got in, the NFC South, whoever represented the NFC South, was done. They didn't deserve to make the playoff. I strictly feel that about the AFC South too. The only exception would have been the Jaguars. The Jaguars, I think, they are a year too early for making playoffs. But I'm glad they're gonna get experience now with Doug P, with a coach that been in that situation. But that Jaguars team, anything other than playoffs next year is a huge letdown for the Jaguars. I think they were a year too early.
Agreed,
That's a year too early. But with the NFC South, there's no team. The Saints don't deserve to go playoff. The Falcons, we already talked. The Falcons here talking about they might pick another quarterback. The Panthers, that's not a team that's ready for the playoffs. And for sure, outside of Brady, I don't even care what that is Brady. That Bucs team looks nothing like the Bucs team of old. That Bucs team got a lot of holes. And like I say,
they have more because a lot of them fellas got gone again.
Exactly. And like I say, that team, it took them down to the 4th quarter, 5 minutes to go for Tom Brady to bomb 2 balls down the field to 2 cornerbacks that don't know that you can run past them to win the division. That's not a contending team. I don't have no respect for no team in the NFC South. That's not a contender. I ain't saying are you in good. I know I are good. Are you and the Eagles are the top teams in the NFC? But the only team I might give the beat on for a good team is the Chargers. But I ain't giving you that for the Buccaneers and probably the Dolphins. The
Dolphins were hot at that time when we played them.
You know what was the game that we were talking about? The Chargers in Dolphins Sunday night. Remember when we talk about the two quarterbacks?
Yeah.
What did Tua do?
Tua wasn't right. He wasn't right after the
Yeah, I know.
Tua
I know.
Too horrible, that
Exactly. No. Tua ain't, and I don't think he's the answer either. But that team, I ain't saying the team ain't good, but I don't think they contender. If that Dolphins team go there and beat the Bills something strict, I know they do it in the regular season. Remember what we always say. You could always do a bunch of shit in the regular season, but playoff football is a completely different type of football.
Yeah.
It's a completely. I remember the Patriots last year beat up the had beat the Bills in the regular season, and then the Bills come and put up 40 points, and it's a completely different thing in the playoffs. Maybe you're right and say Brady might turn it up in the playoffs because he's Tom Brady, but I still don't think that they contender. The only two contenders, well, I won't say two contenders. I don't think the Vikings is a contender in my eyes. The Eagles and Vikings, yes, and the only other team that I see that could give somebody some type of trouble is the Cowboys, but it depends where you could get Dak, because Dak okay does throw picks when he ready up and down.
So like I was looking at the game today and I had to go back and look at it twice. Dak and the Commanders, and see if they were playing the starters. And Dak was playing. The starters were playing a lot.
Dak and them were playing because they needed
whack picks against to the Commanders.
Yeah. My thing, like I said, my thing about it is there's still a team that you gotta look because of the overall team. That's still a team that you gotta keep your eye on. But three teams in the NFC, what something? Eagles, Niners, Cowboys. Vikings ain't what shit. The Giants, that's a team that you should fear next year. Once they will got about 50 million cap space next year. They even get he done put the print on it. Now he can get players that he want. That's gonna be a team to contest with next year.
NFC is gonna be shit next year.
Yeah, the Buccaneers, that team suck. Brady, that team getting old. A lot of stuff gonna happen with that team. My team, like I said, I ain't get to them yet, but I don't think this ain't gonna be such a threat next year as well. I'll talk my reasons why. But next year, that NFC East team, that NFC East, if Washington ever figure out them quarterback position, that team could be whole and grown too, but they don't have a quarterback. NFC West, like she said, the Niners. I don't believe that the Rams will ever get back to them glory days. The Cardinals is a mess to me. And the Seahawks, they put up a good season this year. Maybe they can build on it.
They're quarterback away.
Maybe they build on it, but their main goal is to resign Gino. So we'll see what happens with him. And then in the NFC North, Bears got a number one pick. They either use it as trade bait or they get a Will Anderson or something, but I think the Bears
use that trade bait because they got a lot of holes in either field.
If I was a Bears, I was trading away that number one pick. I was just looking for the best offer and trade. Don't try to get too greedy about add 4 first rounds and so. But if I could get
two first rounds and all the second, yeah.
Right. If I could get 2 first, so say for instance, like remember me, you was talking on the Xbox. The Texans just screwed themselves by picking whoever quarterback they could have picked. They had the number one pick and they would have had their choice. By winning this game, somebody could trade up to number 1 and pick Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. The Texans, we don't know who's going to be the next head coach. We don't know which quarterback them in love with. Somebody could easily go up there and offer the Bears 3 first rounds, a second and a third, or 2 first rounds, 2 seconds, and a 5th. And think they're talking a lot now that Carolina could put in an offer a first this year, a second this year, a first next year, and a third next year for the first round pick and a 4th round pick from the Bears to get a quarterback that they want. It got a lot of scenarios. The Colts could trade up.
Right.
We don't know what the Seahawks and Lions want to do because remember, they got 2 first round picks. The Seahawks and the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. We don't know what the Raiders will do. The Raiders may want a quarterback that they like. We don't know. So that, you see, the Texans screw themselves a bit. They can still get a quarterback, but maybe not the one that they wanted. If I Chicago, I trying to get Justin Fields more playmakers.
Right.
Agreed. Help on defense as well.
Yeah, but you see, you could get a game changer in Will Anderson, or you could get a game changer in Jalen Carter, or one of them too. But I wouldn't pick Will Anderson or Jalen Carter. If I could move down to about 4 or 5, I can still get Jalen Carter or Will Anderson.
Right.
But I can have a couple other picks to build a team. So right now it's a lot of contender, pretender, but to me it should be Eagles versus Niners in the NFC Championship game. But like again, football don't be played like that. You gotta go
It'll
there
be
and
a good
perform.
matchup.
You gotta go out there and perform every given week.
Right.
And like I said, you might never know. You play the Vikings one day that they hit destroy, they're clicking on all cylinders, and then the Vikings there's a reason them 13-4. They win 13 games. Even though we don't say them suck, them still win 13 games. So you can't fully say them suck that bad that they win 13 games. So the Cowboys, they 12-4. They had a chance to win the division, but they didn't get that close. But to me, I don't see much. I see a big gap between Eagles, 49ers, and the rest of the field in the NFC. But
That's agreed. I could agree to that.
we just gotta see if it makes it today. Because then, like you say, we watching this game now. We'll find out Shane's opponent, which we'll talk about on Saturday. I mean, talk about on Tuesday. If it's Green Bay or if it's Seattle, you don't know. A team could hit them stride. One good day, one good. All you need is one bad day that Porter come out there and he ain't looking good, and then Dung host the 49ers gone. You know,
Yep.
Porter never
That's
been
it.
in the playoffs yet. Playoff
That's
atmosphere.
it.
At least he got home field, but all it takes is one bad day for Porter to go there and make bad reads and bad chores, and then the 49ers out the door. So
He hasn't done it yet. Knock on wood. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And he had the chances that he could have because he played in hostile environments and stuff like that. So I mean, he had close games. He played a game come from behind. The man is a godsend right now, and hopefully he don't have that game the rest of this year, the rest of this football year.
that's football is a
Funny sport.
funny sport. Things that happen. So for the same reason, you just gotta wait and see. Make sure your game plan. Make sure you're on point. Just make sure everything going good for the time being. So as far as we know, Shane definitely got a match on the weekend.
Yep.
Jizzle got one in 2 weeks. He has to wait and see. You know, we switch it over to a team that finish up them season. Like I told Shane today, I watched the game. I had no emotion. Well, I had one or two emotions, but that was more just watching some of the worst play calls I ever seen in my life. Panthers season is a wrap. We had some goods. What's the goods? Brian Barnes, 12.5 sacks. That was good. Frankie Louvu had 110 tackles, 19 tackles for loss, 7 sacks, and 2 interceptions. That's an exceptional season in my book. JC Hans, stud. Jeremy Chin, in my opinion, took a little step back in coverage. Derek Brown, excellent season, 67 tackles for a defensive tackle. Top 5 in pressures from a defensive tackle. Offensive void, DJ Moore is the shit.
Dante Foreman.
Again, you didn't let me get to it. But considering that the team released traded his best player and then went to top 3 in running, that speaks volume to Dante Foreman and a guy that I didn't like to give much respect, but Chuba Howard played very well as well. But I think for that, the game ball should be to our offensive line that for the first time in as many years I could remember had continuity. Up to this game, this season, our offensive line play every single snap together. Never lose a starter. So shout out to Ikem Ikwanu, our left tackle of the future. It was his rookie season. He gets some ups and downs, but he's a stud. Brady Christensen's our left guard. He has played tremendous. Bradley Bozeman anchored that center. I just don't understand why Matt Rule was thinking put Efloin as the starting center. Bozeman is our starter. Austin Corbett we got from the Rams. Great pickup. And Taylor Moton stand out again. That was our MVP of the team. That line, they kept it together. Average 167 rushing yards a game, which was tremendous. DJ Moore was just a couple yards short of another 1,000-yard season. And what could I say about Sammy D? He didn't look good today. He only had about 40 passing yards. I don't completely blame him. But Sammy D played well for the time being, and I'll show some love to Eddie Pinheiro. Outside of that Atlanta game, they said he had the highest field goal percentage in the NFL at 94%. The guy couldn't miss a field goal outside the Atlanta game. I don't understand that. Somebody got to check that, see if he can get paid to miss the Atlanta games. But the team is done, which brings me to Steve Wilkes. Tremendous job, 6-6 as the interim head coach. He lost 3 games by 1 score, so he could have easily been 9-3. But that's not how football is. Do I believe he needs to come back? You're gonna hear me say this all the time. I don't. I actually watching my future head coach right now, to be honest. And I hope it's Ben Johnson. Because the way he transformed the Lions defense, the Lions offense, I would take Ben Johnson in a D. I watched Shane here come here and bash Jared Goff. And Jared Goff's a Pro Bowler this year. The way he helped Jared Goff, the way he utilized his playmakers, I see firsthand against the Panthers some of them play calls he make. The guy got some elite play calls. So my wish is for Ben Johnson or Steichen to be the head coach, but I just read a report that we interviewing Jim Caldwell tomorrow and Frank Wright. Tepper may want somebody with offensive toys, but with head coaching experience. I don't know what you guys think about Jim Caldwell or Frank Wright being interviewed. If you think they would be good options for the Panthers, I don't have no problem with Frank Wright or Jim Caldwell. They all had successful head coaching gigs. Caldwell, I think 62-50 as a head coach, and Frank Wright 40-31.
And a Super Bowl coordinator.
And a Super Bowl coordinator. And he took the Colts to 2 playoffs. Caldwell took the Colts to play Super Bowl as a coordinator, and then he took the Lions, did well. So that's just the start. And Steve Wilkes will get his thing. I think they're gonna interview D'Amico Ryans. More than likely, they're gonna interview Eric Bieniemy. I think they're gonna interview Steichen. They're gonna interview Ben Johnson. They casting a wide net. And my wish is Ben Johnson, but I'll have to see. What the Panthers season, like I said, is over. On some shows down the road, I'll talk about what we need to do. What just to me, I think the wild card for the Panthers going into next season is Matt Corral, because we're gonna pick number 9 right now. If we don't trade up, we ain't getting Stroud, Levis, or Bryce Young. Matt Corral ain't a bad player. He ain't get a chance. And then you got Assault Rifle 15. We don't know if he has tremendous upside, but he's not ready to play now. There are talks that Sammy D could come back, but that depends on the head coach as a bridge quarterback. But there's a lot of unknowns. Right now, we got $1 million in cap space. I don't know who you to have $1 million in cap space. That don't make no sense. I'll just throw away the $1 million. But Shaq Thompson got 24 cap hit because we release him, that's $20 million we free up. If we restructure DJ Moore, that's $18 million. We restructure Taylor Moton, that's $12 million. I mean, $15 million. So you're going to get cap space. They're going to restructure. So I like what we're doing. Iquanu Amar Bano, Shane heard me talking about Bano today. I think he could be a big contributor next year. Corral, I'm eager to see. I don't know what's going to happen. I have to see what the head coaching is. I think we have a pretty good foundation with players. Brian Bonds, Derek Brown, Jeremy Chin, J.C. Hahn, Frankie Louvu. That's a loaded defense. Offense, the line is set. Everybody's under contract. Oh, no, Bozeman is not. We have to resign Bozeman. Deontay Foreman is a free agent. Do we sign him back, or do we go in the draft and draft like a Bijan Robinson or a Gibbs or one of them? We'll see. DJ Moore, let's get him some help. There are a lot of mock drafts going around saying that we should draft. There's some guy from TCU, Carl Quinton, something. They call the wide receiver. Yeah, they're saying that if we don't get a quarterback that we like at 9, definitely draft him to give DJ Moore some help. I wouldn't be too mad on that. Our vice president of player personnel said in an interview a couple of weeks back that the focus for the team this offseason is to bring in playmakers to help the team. They got the foundation. They want to bring in so they skill set players, which means wide receivers, running backs, cornerbacks. That's what they're looking at. Everything else set. So let's see if they stick to their word. But like I say, you guys get to talk about playoff football. Unfortunately, I can't. But I'm eager to see what happens in the off season for the Panthers. Starting with tomorrow, I guarantee I'll talk to you guys on Tuesday about Caldwell interview and then Frank Wright. And then I guarantee by Tuesday we'll hear some more people too and who we should be interviewing. But yeah, Panthers season is over. McAdoo, sorry, but you gone. This McAdoo want to run a goal line formation and first and 10 at the 20-yard line. That thing don't work. He's the definition of a 1960 offensive coordinator. That smash mouth thing, that don't work. I don't say you can't run the ball. You need to run the ball, but not his formations. So I ain't a fan of his formations. He don't never use an empty set. Look, Aaron Rodgers here now in an empty set. Goff that being an empty set. Jalen Hurts that being an empty set. Everybody use empty sets except McAdoo. So I don't understand that.
Right.
So he just a little too stuck in the ways with these things, and it's like bootlegs and them stuff. You gotta evolve. So I don't. He was good. He called a couple good games, but not too consistent for me. He needs to go. If Steve Wilkes he interview and say, "Well, I want McAdoo back there," David Tepper and Kiki Monkey offers and say, "Thanks for the interview."
Right.
So McAdoo they're talking a lot jizzle about your quarterback thing. They say if Steve Wilkes comes back as the head coach, his offensive coordinator should be Brian Johnson, the Eagles quarterback coach, which he just watched Sirianni and Steichen. He got to be learning something from him. I wouldn't be too vexed with that if Steve Wilkes comes back.
If Anthony Richardson comes in, then he was, because Brian Johnson was Anthony Richardson's offensive
in Florida. Yes,
right.
Yeah.
So that would be the connection there. But,
so you got a assault rifle with Richardson. Right. So I think that's how it was.
But knowing that you had the issue or the situation with what his name is, the head coach of fire, Matt Rule, not being able to get a team gelling and get a team going on offense and defense. Knowing what Steve Wilkes has done coming in, not having the off season, not having the training camp, not being able to put his imprint on the team from the start of the season, having to come in and take over probably what you could say the middle of the season, having the team go 6-6. Not having, yes, you have a JC Han who has been off and on, not having a Dante Action Jackson. Also, Jimmy Chin not playing at his best. Also, not having a Sam Darnold who could have been your quarterback at the start of the season. Why isn't Steve Wilkes your favorite to land this head coaching job? Being that he has faced all the obstacles going into taking over that job.
To me, it's a really good question, and I keep asking myself that too. One, he's a little too conservative. One, in the way he's a defensive-minded coach. But you'll watch his defense, and he plays very conservative.
Conservative is what? Less man coverage, less zone coverage.
He don't bring no. He like Gannon. He don't bring no pressure by. He believe in this 4-man rush.
Right.
He don't bring it until like you push his hand and turn his hand upside down to push it. And like it's so crazy, but I think I know why too is because like you say, it probably ain't a perfect defense that he want, because when Sean McDermott took Buffalo's job, he was our defensive coordinator. And the Panthers was one of the most blitz teams in the NFL. That's how he got his job. He come
up Jim Johnson. We know who Jim Johnson is.
Exactly. But no, I think he didn't blitz a lot because for that same instance, he had to help CJ Henderson and Keith Taylor and those guys. He gave them extra bodies. I think with a JC Han, Action Jackson, he would let the blitz go more. And for the same reason you say that he got it in the middle of the season after the 49ers game, week 5, he took over the team. It's not his team, it's not his coaching staff.
Right.
I think for him to nail this interview, he has to tell them what his staff is gonna look like, what he wants to outline, his future plans. If he hires the right offensive coordinator, I'm okay with him staying. But in my eyes, I believe he's a 500 coach. I would take him as my defensive coordinator any day. He's a good leader, but I know how the NFL turning now. The NFL ain't this smash mouth football thing no more.
How can you say he's a 500 coach when he hasn't actually been able to coach a talented football team? He had a fair chance with the Cardinals. That was a
No,
horrible.
I ain't even looking
He
at
had
that.
a fair chance.
I just
That was a
feel that
horrible roster. He
I
had a
just
fair
feel that
chance
he'll
with
be. I
with the
feel that he'll
Cardinals.
be 8 and 9, 9 and 8. That's the most he'll get us. That's just my feeling. I can't give you the logistics for it. In my eyes, the way I watched him coach, it may not be his team, but he took the team to almost a playoff. So
Right.
you can't tell me that game against Tampa Bay is not on Steve Wilkes. The guy, he didn't make no adjustment. He was credited for bringing the team within one game or making the playoffs. So why is he credited for losing that game too? So I understand that you say that he hadn't have an off season. That's not his team and staff. But I guarantee if he took the team to the playoffs, they would have said Steve Wilkes is the best coach he should be taking. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? He took the team to almost one game within the playoffs. But that game against Tampa Bay showed me some stuff about him that I wasn't too pleased with. And I ain't gonna put all on him, but I think I put a lot on Ben McAdoo.
Right.
Ben McAdoo is okay, but he's not my coordinator going forward. He shouldn't be the coordinator going forward. But Steve Wilkes as the head coach, I don't have nothing around him. Like I say, if I hear him say that he's the head coach, I'll clap. But just the way the NFL is now, I prefer Steichen
You want
or Ben Johnson.
you want a more offensive driven
To
type
me, it's easier to start your defense out, and it's very hard to start your offense out in this NFL right now.
It's more
A
passing.
perfect example is for again the Chiefs is a perfect example. Spagnuolo been out there for years. He ain't had nobody on his team other than Chris Jones and Frank Clark. Yeah, we know what he name. We know Mahomes and them. But they don't get by on defense still. They're playing a division that got tons load of air rifles. They play against the Chiefs and everybody. But I think defense is easier to coach now than offense. Offense, if you don't have the right offense scheme and players for it, you got falter. Your team ain't gonna win. But you could get by with average defenses.
True.
You understand what I mean? In this NFL, you can't get by. You know why? You know why the Vikings 13-3? Because the offense is good. But remember, the Vikings 13-4 and got negative point differential.
Right.
So that tells you a lot about the NFL. Your defense could get away with sloppy games, but if your offense ain't on point, you cannot win. You cannot win. And that's why I don't want Steve Wilkes to be the head coach. I need somebody that can help the Panthers to put up 27, 30 points. Not Steve Wilkes that can tell you. Steve Wilkes can tell you, my defense should hold them to no more than 17 points. So then we're losing 16, 17. Because that's all we're going to put up. But you know the perfect example too, Shane? Look at the Denver situation. Denver gave up 14 points a game on defense, but the offense could have only put up 12 points. Only 12 points. If the Dolphins had to put up 3 more points a game, they would have been like 8-2. That's the stat that we had read.
They were the playoff team.
Yeah. So you see that I don't have no problem with Steve. I think he did a wonderful job, an incredible job. But I also think that I prefer him to be the defensive coordinator than the head. I need somebody to help that offense. Because whoever we bring in as the head coach, if it's an offensive-minded coach, I guarantee whoever he brings in as the defensive coordinator, he got Brian Burns, he got Derek Brown, he got Louvu, he got Jeremy Chin, he got J.C. Hahn, he got Dante Jackson. The defense gonna still be all right. It will be all right. But where's the issue in Carolina? The offense. Yeah. You need one of those innovative players. Like you need a Ben Johnson, you need a Steichen. I don't even mind that you bring in Frank Wright. I saw something today, guys, that I didn't even know. Frank Wright, 5 seasons with the Colts. He made the playoffs twice. I didn't know every season he had 5 different quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea. Touchdown Jameson Williams.
Flag.
A big play. Flag. So I didn't know for the 5 years that Frank Wright was there. He had 5 different quarterbacks.
Agreed. It's the reason why he should have never been fired.
Exactly.
He's
So
never
no
been fired.
continuity.
There's
He
no
had to deal
continuity.
with a new quarterback,
Right,
and he
exactly.
still was performing.
Exactly.
So you think I would be angry at Frank
That's a
Wright?
recipe for a good. There's a recipe for a good coach.
If I looking at Frank Wright, I saying he turned the Philadelphia Carson Wentz into a superstar before the
He
injury.
did. He did. He
He,
did.
he took 5 different quarterbacks and carried his team to
Look at what he did with Nick Foles in the Super Bowl.
Exactly. But even too, remember we used to say we don't understand how Jim Caldwell get fired from the Lions when he had them 10-6 and then they fired him.
In the playoffs.
In the playoffs, they fire Caldwell as if he was the problem. Caldwell
Now
wasn't the
political.
problem.
Now political.
Exactly. Caldwell is the offensive. The only problem is they say he been out of football since 2019 or 20. I don't know if his offense is outdated. But he can be a good offensive consultant quarterback coach because he was a quarterback coach too. But I need somebody that is evolving with the offense.
So you're
Somebody
looking
that's
for a
gonna
more
evolve.
innovative offensive type
Yes,
of
because in my eyes, Jizzle, in my eyes, I believe any coordinator that comes in to coach the defense for the Panthers will survive.
right.
They will survive, but our offense cannot survive without the right man leading the team. That's just me. And everybody else have their own thing. Look again. Look what gonna happen. Shane gonna definitely lose the Miko Ryans. But because he got Shanahan, you're gonna lose him. Trust me, you will. You will. But the thing is, you guys been losing defensive coordinators. I always think the defense does survive. The defense will survive. If the offense can't do it, then we in a problem.
Right.
We in a
Agreed.
problem.
The
So
thing about what the final will do is that they don't go out and hire another defensive coordinator. We don't go outside.
the
If
bill
the
from
Miko
within.
Ryans go, we're gonna bring up the person who honored the Miko Ryans up.
Mhm.
And we keep the
But what
same
if-
blueprint. We keep the same
What if you
blueprint.
get defensive coordinator who's like Gannon, who's passive?
We can't get that
We
because
are taking. Oh,
He
we
there
got
can't
me
get
and
him.
Me and him.
No, I'm talking about you. What if
I can't-
Unify then is get a defensive coordinator like Gannon, who's more passive, who likes
We
to play
can't get
more zone coverage?
We
but
can't
that'd be
get
very
that.
that'd be
less.
very stupid at that
We can't
defensive
get that because
coordinator.
like what I just said, we don't go outside to hire defensive coordinator.
Right.
Our defensive coordinator to come up from underneath. Salah was the defensive coordinator. D'Amico Reyes was his assistant. He leave. When D'Amico leave, the assistant will jump up and be the defensive coordinator. We ain't going outside the box. We ain't trying to hire that strictness.
What if he doesn't agree with the system?
He need to go because that system is why you're coming and meet a system that working number
Right.
one defense. And you're trying to talk about you going passive.
What if he
I think
feels
the- I
that?
think-
What
I
if he
think the
feels
players
that?
might get rid of him.
What if he feels that you got one of the best linebackers in the league who could play both zone and man either way? You got a good defensive line. You got Mosley, you got Verrett, you got Davis Rod coming back. You got Hufanga who has another year under the system. Why you can't play more zone coverage, play less man and blitz less?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We got
That,
one
that,
defense.
that defense
But
is
what
too
if-
ag- that
but what
defense is too aggressive.
But
to
what if
change it.
what if they decide to say that the defense that you're playing now, you happen to lose a championship game. The defense that you're playing doesn't help you win.
He got to go from here. I don't believe that.
So
I don't believe that.
you
That person
shouldn't-
can't. That person is not a final. Is not final. Personality. He can't be there.
It can't be. It might not be that, but it might be the team moving to more
The
analytical
only time
situation.
you're gonna see that is if you see Kyle get fired or Kyle leave, because that's the only way that whole coaching system get changed. Like I said, we the hire from within, especially on defense, especially
Right.
when D'Amico leave, and they're gonna look up who on our coaching staff and gonna tell you who the next defensive coordinator gonna be. It's gonna be the person who ran up on D'Amico. They're gonna either be the D-line coach or the linebacker coach.
But even if he honors D'Amico, he might not agree with what D'Amico does.
Oh, that's gonna be settled before D'Amico leave. Because it was settled before Salah had leave.
But
Right.
then again, D'Amico might bring he with he.
Right, exactly.
D'Amico, remember a lot of these players, like a lot of these persons, like they
D'Amico might
bring
be the head coach and bring him in as his defensive coordinator.
Mike when McDaniels left, he didn't
Nah,
he take
he
a couple people away.
But he went with a whack.
Exactly. If D'Amico leave, most of that defensive staff, because remember, I can't take a defensive quad. So for instance, I
Right.
can't interview D'Amico Ryans to be my defensive coordinator because it's on the same level. You can't do that.
Right.
You only interview people to take them a step higher.
Right.
So if D'Amico go to a head coach, he right hand man automatically going up to a coordinator. So then it leaves a hole.
Wes Welker is what for McDaniels. Can he take Wes Welker? And Wes Welker was a
As well
quarterback
as
coach.
an offensive, was a wide receiver coach. He's
He's a
offensive
wide
coach.
receiver coach.
Yeah, he was a wide receiver coach.
He's more offensive. It won't be
Okay,
defense.
more
for Wes.
offensive something, all right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's more
So
offense.
again,
It won't be defense.
going back to what I was talking about, Jizzle, one of the most scrutinized coaches in the NFL today is Brandon Staley.
He's a defensive
Because
head
of
coach,
be-
too, right?
exactly, you see again, we could have said Brandon Staley because whenever the Chargers suck as offense, we criticized for the play calls and the decisions
It's
and
not
so.
him.
I guarantee if they had an offensive minded head coach, they would never be going through that.
True.
It's just the way the league is now. Offensive minded coaches, the innovative ones, you get them on board and help evolve your offense. Of course, you
Unless you
need
got Bill
content.
Belichick.
Well, he gonna learn the hard way but I see now they're saying that he wanna bring back Bill O'Brien from Alabama to be the
Oh,
offensive
fuck me
coordinator.
up. No. He got to stop that. He got to stop that.
Bill O'Brien was the offensive coordinator all the time. So they're saying that he want to bring him back because you know who calling the players over there? Matt Patricia calling the offensive players, you know. I don't understand that.
Which means he moved a defensive-minded head coach to offensive thing, because you would think that the defensive-minded coach being an offense would be able to scheme up plays to attack a defense. It don't work like that. It don't work like that.
Patricia's calling the players, so
Right,
I
it
don't
don't work like that.
understand.
I mean, a couple of games we saw Mac Jones cussing Patricia because he
Yeah.
did not get the players on the
Exactly.
field in time.
Exactly. So I agree that Belichick need to evolve his offense,
Right.
but we don't know if he could actually do that. So I think even a good example too to me is even Dougie P. Dougie P is an offensive minded coach. He helped settle Trevor Lawrence in.
He did.
Trevor Lawrence, the last 7 games, they said he was a top 5 quarterback. He was on a tail.
Right, he did.
You understand? Right now, the fate of the NFL is on the offensive side. It's not on the defensive side. Yeah, we have good defense and offense, but you need an offensive-minded head coach and sort your offense out. In my opinion, that's just me. Like I say, there's a lot of people vying for Steve Wilkes to get a job. And if he does, I can't be angry with it, depending on who the offensive coordinator is. But if I had my pick, it would definitely be either Steichen, Ben Johnson, or Frank Wright. One of those 3. They would be my 3 finalists. That's just me. But defense was never the problem in Carolina. You build a good defensive foundation. Let's evolve the offense now. Get Sam Darnold in for another year or 2 to bridge a quarterback. You like Jizzle say. If I bring Steichen as my head coach, I guarantee he can bring Ben Johnson as the offensive coordinator. Draft assault rifle 15 and walk him just like Jalen Hurts because he's a bigger, stronger version of Jalen Hurts. Simple.
With a better arm.
Simple as that.
Better arm.
Exactly. You're doing the same exact thing. Get him 1-2 more playmaker, draft him with the number 1 pick, and then them other 2 picks, get skill position players to help him. Get another wide receiver, probably a tight end or running back, and build a team like that. The defense is fine. But like I said, that's just me. It was a tough season to watch going through 3 quarterbacks and Matt Rule. We finally got rid of Matt Rule, and Steve Wilkes came in. But to run the ball 5 times a game, you ain't gonna win that much. You know how bad it was when the Panthers ran the ball 5 times a game and averaged over 200 yards. We were easy. When the Panthers couldn't average more than 100 yards rushing in a game, we got demolished because we couldn't do nothing in the air. McAdoo didn't know what to call.
Look at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Perfect example. You lose AJ Brown. Derrick Henry can't do that.
Derrick Henry can't do it for you. Tannehill ain't a quarterback to take you over. For Tennessee to thrive, they gotta have Derrick Henry eating, and then you play action it. You understand? So
if you had AJ Brown with Traylon Burks, then you would have had a team. I think if you had a Derrick Henry, AJ Brown, and Burks, then you would have had a
Maybe
and Robert
Tennessee,
and Robert Woods.
so maybe Tennessee goes and drafts another wide receiver this
Then
year.
you would have had, then you I think Tennessee would have been a top team in the AFC.
Cause again, Vrabel is defensive minded. The defenses are right.
Agreed.
They got people, but the offense is the falter.
Right.
A lot of these teams, if your offense is the falter, more than likely you ain't making the playoffs.
Right.
If your defense is the falter, look again.
Yeah,
Look at
the Vikings.
look at the Lions sheet. The Lions defense rank, I think 30th.
Yeah.
But they were right down in the last week playing for the playoffs. If your offense is faltering, you're not gonna make the playoffs. If your defense is faltering and your offense is clicking, there's a chance that you're also playing for the playoffs.
Unless you got an 85 Bears out of the 2000 Ravens.
Right. And we don't have that now.
Right.
It's the same thing Shane say. Brady, you conquer Brady, you don't never conquer Brady out. The team sucked when Brady wasn't playing good. Plain and simple. When Brady plays good, the team was going good.
Yep.
Simple as that. It's easy thing. You know why? You know why the Giants was able to be 9-6 or 9-7-1? Because Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, they managed the offense right. No turnovers and keep the chain moving. Because Brian Dable knows how to run our offense. It wasn't Wink Martindale in the defense. No.
True.
It was because Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, and Brian Dable had a plan. They executed. Now, remember we used to talk about Daniel Jones, and we don't think he's a big. Now they're talking about resigning. They reject his 5th-year contract. Now they want to resign him because Dable is an offensive minded. He knew how to play. That's my thing that the Panthers need. You need that. I wish he was my head coach. We need that type of offensive mind. If I get Frank Wright, Ben Johnson, or Steichen, I'll be joyous on this show every single day. Because I know we're going to evolve on offense. Those 3 are my top 3 sheet. It's nobody else.
Well, we're gonna see what happened here tomorrow too, because tomorrow gonna be Black Monday, right?
There's a lot of persons that are going to lose jobs.
We're gonna see how that gonna free up, and then you're gonna start hearing from. I think from tomorrow you're gonna start hearing who talking to who's available.
I surprised you didn't start ahead from tonight because usually they get a leaks and so tonight.
Yeah, wait a little bit, man. So yeah, see, cause people gonna want to touch up some of these playoff coaches too. So you're gonna see what's going on, and then definitely continue this conversation over the rest couple of weeks of the off season.
Oh, hey, we're gonna keep going.
The postseasons, and then all the way up to the draft too, coming up, and see who the Carolina Panthers gonna trigger on.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's a Go ahead. What's your input on the Panthers?
I agree. I think, like I say, ain't too much things you need to touch on that team. I could talk about and save some of my thoughts for the draft. Where I think y'all should tie it in the draft. But from a coaching perspective, there's a lot of candidates out there that I think would help evolve your team. You know what I'm saying? You're definitely going the right way. Few key pieces away from going over the top. I mean, look at what y'all did in the last 6-7 games of the season. Fighting for a playoff spot. Went from looking at the number 1 or the top 3, top 5 picks in the draft to want to go into playoff contention. Mm-hmm. So and I think if you pick the right coach, which will be, like you said, any offensive-minded coach, and then get a good staff behind that, you should be all right with the team that y'all have. The team is young.
But and then you know the crazy thing about it too, if I a head coach looking at the Panthers job, just look at the division.
Right, you got to salivate.
The division there for the taking. Once Brady retired, the Buccaneers don't have a backup plan.
Right.
The Saints in cap hell. They're over $50 million in cap again. No first-round pick, no quarterback. The Falcons basically starting over, but they don't have the talent.
They don't know what they're doing in Atlanta.
If you draft the right coach, then this could be your division for the next 5-6 years.
Yep.
I think we are in the best position to succeed going forward because of the cap hell in New Orleans, the age of the Buccaneers, and the blow up of the Falcons. I just think we need the right person to steer the ship. So it's hard, but I know it may not sit well with persons that want Steve Wilkes to stay, but I understand why. But you got to be realistic. Just look at the game. The game is ever changing. The only person that's still doing it like good on the defense is Tomlin, and and to me, I don't know how he doing it because they like
Kind of just have a coach.
yeah
Your coach
we
well.
we were watching it today. If the Miami lost, the Steelers were in the playoffs. So he if David Tepper think you can get another Tomlin, I don't think so. I don't think, and like I say, if the Panthers go and hire D'Amico Reyes, that's just hiring a younger version of Steve Wilkes.
Right.
That don't
You ain't
make that
want
don't make sense. That don't make sense to me. I keep seeing this. Jonathan Gannon is a top candidate for Houston. What is Gannon and Houston got together?
Yeah. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. I hope he goes. I want him to go. I hope the Eagles win the Super Bowl. Gannon doesn't get in the playoffs, and he's gone.
like
I'm
Shane,
praying.
like Shane
That would be
say,
my prayer.
like
I
like
hope he's gone.
like Shane say, on Tuesday we're gonna have more openings and we're gonna fit some candidates with each position, each team that we feel will think because again tomorrow's Black Monday, unfortunately. Or if you're in a playoff team, you got a lot of uncertainty tonight in terms of
If
what
they
gonna
got a
happen.
job. They got a job come tomorrow.
Right now we got 3 openings: Colts, Panthers, Broncos. We expect more tomorrow.
Yep.
Tuesday, we'll definitely talk about them. And one thing about the thing Shane with Jim Harbaugh, there was a report today. It wasn't the Panthers never reached out to Harbaugh. They said Harbaugh was persistently trying to reach out to the Panthers. It was his interest, not ours. So he was reaching. He and his reps were the ones reaching out. They said he actually been reaching out for the past couple of weeks. And they said David Tepper finally said, "Okay, let's hear what you gotta see." And they listened, but it was just a listening thing. It wasn't nothing to go into, but they said it came from his side, not from the Panthers side. Harbaugh's another name to watch. He probably go back to Michigan, but we know that he's gonna be interviewing for Denver's job, as well as Sean Payton that's gonna interview. And according to reports, they said that Denver's on board with the compensation that the Saints want, and that's a first round pick. As far as I know, Denver ain't got no first round picks.
I know them. Get it from.
So them gonna give them 2025 first round pick then. It gotta be them because the Saints say they ain't giving up Payton unless there's a first round pick involved. So if Denver's on board with it, a first round pick coming from somewhere. So,
So
we'll see. But
we'll see tomorrow. We'll have some more insight on it tomorrow, and then report on it on the Tuesday show. I guarantee I have some shakeups that we're gonna talk about on Tuesday.
yeah, of course, we'll get more into it in the off season as we go on because the games become less and less and less. So we got a lot of time to talk about it. But based on playoff football in the AFC, it's Buffalo versus the Dolphins, Cincinnati versus Baltimore, and Jacksonville versus the Chargers. So some good 2 divisional games and 2 teams that got 2 young up and coming quarterbacks, Herbert versus Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
So that's gonna be 3 good games. And then in the AFC, in the NFC, it's 49ers versus either Packers and Seahawks.
Yep.
Minnesota versus New York Giants, and then Buccaneers versus Cowboys. So some good games to come up. We'll find out who's playing when, and we'll talk about those games on Tuesday as well coming up. But like we said, week 18 is almost in the books.
Yep.
Basically,
playing right now.
Basically, it's the end of the football season for about 14 teams or 16. How much is like 16, 18 teams, something like that. Yeah, it was good as a roller coaster of a season. A lot of ups, a lot of downs. And like I said, 49ers got a game next week. Jizzle got a boy, and then a game in 2 weeks. And unfortunately, the Panthers season is come to a close. So it's a lot of off-season talk for me. But again, this is where you get paid now. You one win and you move on, one loss, and you're on the couch with us talking football.
Right.
Wow.
He a
So
fumble? Wow.
it looks like it, yeah.
Yeah, he fumble. Detroit just recover. Right.
So from a player perspective, we'll get more from Shane on Tuesday for sure about his matchup against either Green Bay or
Or Seattle.
Seattle. We'll talk about
Yep.
that for sure, and then we'll preview the other games as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, player football is it's intense, hard nosed. But this is where you own your box. This is where you know if you're a good player or a good coach. Not in the
This is where
regular
Jalen
season.
Hudson get that 50 million.
Well, this is what we gotta see. We're gonna see. Like I said, there's a lot of questions. Can Porter do it? Like you see,
Yep.
is the pressure on Shanahan? Can Jalen Hurts deliver in the playoff? There's a lot of questions to be asked. We'll finally get some answers starting on Saturday.
Mhm.
Yep, from Saturday. But exciting times in the season. No playoff football. I
Playoff
wish you
football,
guys
boy.
good luck in the playoffs. I can't say that for myself, but I'll do a lot of coaching searches as we go on. But I know you guys will talk about your matchups in going forward. But yeah, like I said, football regular season is officially finished in about an hour and a half. And now it's on to some playoff football for
Playoff time.
Sheen and Jizzle. Soon if everything goes as planned, we'll be talking about NFC championship game, and two of you would be here battling it out while I got my
Helen
popcorn
knows.
here eating. I'll be eating my popcorn to hear this one because that's a game there that in the books, in the Vegas books, that should be 50-50 to me, evenly
For the
split.
second time in 5 years, the Eagles are holding the number one seed. For the second time in 5 years, the Eagles have a
And back
chance.
then, the number one seed had to play.
Right. For the
But
second
now, you-
time in
now you got
five
boy.
years, for the second time in 5 years, the Eagles got home field advantage. For the second time in 5 years, the Eagles got a chance to make it to the Super Bowl. For the second time in 5 years, the Eagles got a chance to be Super Bowl champions. What an awesome feeling. What an awesome feeling. Phillies make World Series they win. Eagles, you gotta do it, baby. Bring it home. Bring it home. It's gonna
Well,
be a hype. It's gonna be a hype show for the next couple days.
how he figured they're gonna be hype?
I don't
They're
know.
gonna be hype because I bring in the hype. I bring in the hype.
When I out here looking through my papers on these coaches and what I'm doing, that
That's
ain't
not
gonna
you,
be no
partner.
hype.
That's not you, partner. You can put a paper down. But I bring in the hype. I bring in the hype. It's
I
playoff
just
football.
I just hope them
We
lingering
are
effects
back.
don't come to Philly and he come out here cussing up a star shit.
I ain't looking for that. We are back. We are back. And if the Eagles make championship game, I will be there. I will be there. I'll be sitting in the stands. Hopefully they win. Hopefully they win championship game in Super Bowl too. But if they make championship game, I knock it down the bucket list, and I will be sitting watching the championship game in Philly in the cold weather with my Carhartt suit on and my hand warmers.
That's for you
We'll
and
see.
Shane to talk
We
about.
got about 4 weeks to see what can happen. But
We
we'll
got
see.
4 weeks. January 29th, I looking to be in Philadelphia.
We'll see. I
I
hope to
trying to
see
be
it.
home.
I hope to be there too.
I ain't trying to be home.
I hope to be there too.
I want it. I want it. I want it. Let's get it.
So we'll
Let's
come back.
get it.
We'll come back to on Tuesday. Talk about the Black Monday effects. We'll talk about the results of this game and who I'll be facing in the in the first round of the playoffs, and then we'll go from there.
Yep.
So we'll see you guys on Tuesday.
Yes.
As we wrap up the
Same
NFL
time.
season.
Same time. Don't forget, be sure to like and subscribe the page, our YouTube page, and show some love in our Cash App. And you can always check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We got all the content for you guys, some Panthers football, Philly football, and San Fran football. And if you ever want to join the show, send us a message in your favorite team and your email address. We can send you the link and you can come and talk some football as well. So you guys are more than welcome to come and talk some football with us. Outside of that, I think that's it from us for tonight.
Yep.
We'll be back on Tuesday.
We'll see you guys on Tuesday. Peace out.
Peace.